VSS Unity is a science lab unlike any other.
Up until recently, microgravity research was very expensive and it required years of lead time.
You have the extreme of going to the space station, which is a long time and a lot of money, or you have things like drop towers or parabolic flights that would give you momentary 2 or 3 seconds worth of microgravity.
Virgin Galactic space flight system allows researchers and scientists and technologists access to minutes of continuous microgravity.
We let you go quicker, faster, cheaper, and have more access to space.
Virgin Galactic's mission is to democratize space. Our spaceflight system is bringing access to universities, government agencies, high schools, and researchers that didn't have this capability before.
There's a bunch of different types of research that you can do on a Virgin Galactic spaceflight. There's autonomous research, which means the payloads are loaded in the rack that don't require any interaction during flight. There's human-tended payloads. And then the crew themselves can also be the payloads, testing how the environment of microgravity affects the human body.
All payloads active and running.
What I really like about the Virgin Galactic flight profile is that it's pilot flown. The cabin is modular and can be adjusted to your needs. And it also takes off and lands from right here at Spaceport America.
You can put in your experiments, your science right before takeoff, minimizing the time that they are outside the lab. In addition, you can have access to your data within hours of landing.
This kind of unprecedented access just unlocks possibilities.
We're going to see a lot of new innovation and new science in the medical fields with pharmaceutical research, medicine development, how basic building blocks of matter come together.
You can test neuroplasticity. You can see how plants grow. You can test fluid dynamics and cardiac responses. Microgravity research being done in space benefits life on Earth.
Virgin Galactic is breaking down barriers for space access and scientific research.
Virgin Galactic is giving future researchers the opportunity to change the world.
Solo Scrooge, sending peace and blessings to you all out there. Hashtag Solo Nation. How's it going, my people? Hope everyone's well. Appreciate you all for the love and support of the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We're giving you updates on Sologenic, Corium and XRP. Also hit the like button that helps push the channel through the analytics and helps the channel grow. So today we're taking a quick look at Virgin Galactic briefly, as I invested a small pot into this company, SPCE. So Virgin Galactic, welcome to Spaceline for Earth. So we saw in the intro a bit about Virgin Galactic's mission and what they can achieve and are achieving from their mission. I want to go over this quick article quickly by El Paso Times 20 hours ago. So El Paso Times, and we can see it says tour Virgin Galactic's hangar terminal at New Mexico's Spaceport America. Tour the gateway to space hangar terminal where Virgin Galactic space tourism flights are based at Spaceport America in southern New Mexico. Officials for Virgin Galactic, the anchor Spaceport America in southern New Mexico, recently delivered bad and good news for the fledgling spaceport as the company moves into its next phase of space tourism. The bad news, the company is pausing space flights for about a year beginning in mid-2024 and in January is laying off 73 workers tied to the spaceport, located 56 miles north of Las Cruces, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Las Cruces, and about 100 miles north of El Paso. The good news, the company plans to begin test flights in mid-2025 of its new Delta spaceships, which will be built at its Phoenix factory for $50 million to $60 million each, and begin frequent flights for space tourists and researchers in 2026. The changes will temporarily slow the spaceport's growth and economic impact. Scott McLaughlin, executive director of the New Mexico Spaceport Authority, said in a statement, "But the future continues to look bright," he said. "While there is short-term pain, there will be long-term benefits," he said. "Around 2026, we will see new employees hired in addition to flight cadences of the weekly and eventually daily variety." Virgin Galactic is a key part of what McLaughlin and others have dubbed Space Valley, stretching from Albuquerque to Van Horn, Texas, where Amazon's Jeff Bezos Blue Origin launches rockets for its space tourist flights. Virgin Galactic to save $25 million with layoffs. Virgin Galactic will still employ about 200 people at its facilities and offices at the spaceport and in La Cruces after the layoffs, a company spokesperson reported. However, many of the New Mexico workers will temporarily go to the Phoenix factory in the future to support the final assembly stages of the first Delta spaceships. Michael Coglazia, Virgin Galactic Chief Executive Officer, recently told Wall Street Analysis the factory is expected to open in April 2024. The 73 laid-off New Mexico workers, including engineers and other technical personnel, are among 185 Galactic workers being laid off company-wide, or 18% of its workforce. It will have about 840 full-time employees after the layoffs. The layoffs will cost the company about $5 million, mostly tied to the surveillance payments, but will save it about $25 million a year, company information shows. So Virgin Galactic's Unity spaceship in front of the gateway to the space terminal and hangar it leases at Spaceport America. Cost-cutting aims to help Delta development. The Delta ships are powerful economic engines. To bring them into service, we need to extend our strong financial position and reduce our reliance on unpredictable capital markets, Coglazia wrote in the November 7th publicly released email to employees. That requires cutting costs by reducing the workforce and reduced flights for the remaining schedule for its 4-seat Unity spacecraft, he said. The company had 10 flights, but not until August 2023 did it fly its first paying tourists into space. Its first commercial flight with paying researchers was in June 2023. Its Unity spaceship is carried to the edge of space by an aircraft that takes off from a runway at Spaceport America. The aircraft then releases the spaceship propelled into space by its rockets. The flight ends with the spacecraft back to the spaceport for a runway landing. Its most recent flight was November the 2nd. It plans at least 2 more Unity flights next year, with the first in January, Coglazia reported. Then by mid-year, it will stop those flights to focus on Delta spaceship, he recently told Wall Street Analysis. Delta space flights will increase revenue. Virgin Galactic expects to greatly increase its revenue when the 6-seat Delta flights begin, now expected in 2026. The 6-seat Delta spaceships are expected to fly 8 times per month, and the company plans to have 2 spaceships to start. That's expected to bring in $2.7 million for tourism flights costing $450,000 per seat and $3.6 million for research flights at $600,000 per seat, according to the company information. That would bring in $21.6 million to $28.8 million per month per spaceship, compared to the $1.8 million to $2.8 million generated by the 1 per month Unity flights. Virgin Galactic is the largest of 5 tenants at Spaceport America. It leases the modernistic 120,000 square foot gateway to space building for an unreported amount. The lease expires in 2033, but Spaceport officials are in preliminary discussions to extend it, McLaughlin said. The Spaceport received $8.1 million in revenue in its 2023 fiscal year, ending June 30th, including from leases and other sources, according to Spaceport information. It says, Virgin Galactic's Unity spaceship releases from the carrier aircraft above during an August 2023 spaceflight carrying its first paid tourists. Virgin Galactic to use other spaceports in future. Virgin Galactic's Coglazia told Wall Street analysts that the company plans to eventually use other spaceports besides Spaceport America for its Delta spaceship flights. He did not provide specifics. The company leases facilities at the Mojave Air and Spaceport in Mojave, California, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Mojave or Mojave. The company in August announced it had acquired land in Syria County near Spaceport America for an astronaut campus and training facility. McLaughlin said Virgin Galactic's plans for using other spaceports for flights appears to be several years in the future once they have established a weekly or near daily cadence at Spaceport America. Spaceport America is an ideal location for the company's activities, and we expect they will be here for many years to come, he said. So Virgin Galactic, so the Delta space flights will increase in revenue. Cost-cutting aims to help Delta development. Virgin Galactic to save $25 million with layoffs. So that's a bit more about what Virgin Galactic are planning to do, courtesy of the El Paso Times.
3, 2, 1, release, release, release. Welcome to space.
And so check this out. BlackRock Inc. reports 12.88% increase in ownership of SPCE Virgin Galactic Holdings. So this is what's going on, my people. Look, and we can see this is Fintel, New York Stock Exchange Inc. Look, security, SPCE Virgin Galactic Holdings Inc. Institution, BlackRock. Latest disclosed ownership, 24,326,307 shares. Latest disclosed value, $43,787,352. BlackRock Inc. reports 12.88% increase in ownership of SPCE Virgin Galactic Holdings. On November the 13th, 2023, BlackRock Inc. filed a 13F to HR form disclosing ownership of 24,326,307 shares of Virgin Galactic Holdings. Class A US SPCE valued at $43,787,353 USD as of September 30th, 2023. The entity filed a previous 13F HR on August 11th, 2023, disclosing 21,550,980 shares of Virgin Galactic Holdings, Inc., Class A. This represents a change in shares of 12.88% during the quarter. The current value of the position is $50,355,455 USD. So look, BlackRock have increased their holdings. In August they had 21 million and now they're up this month, November, they have 24,326,307 shares. Look, institutional ownership, 13F and M reports filings, SPCE Virgin Galactic Holdings, Class A, BlackRock Inc. So that's the share price. This is the share price and this is the shares held. And you can see BlackRock shares have been going up. They've been buying. Look at their shares. Look how you can see that shares have increased. You can see their shares have increased from July 2020. And as the stock's been falling, look, SPCE stock's been falling, they've increased their shares. Let's take a look at the chart. We've got SPC, Virgin Galactic Holdings. For one, you can see that EasyJet. Obviously, it's a big plane company, but their shares are at 425 per share. Then you have the International Consolidated Airline. Look, their shares are at 152 per share. So let's look at SPCE. SPCE as it stands, sitting at $2, down minus 3.38% on the day. So look, my people, look, we can see where Virgin Galactic went. We're talking about Virgin Galactic went to a high of $62 in 2021. And if we take a look now, Virgin Galactic to its current price and where it's sitting now is 96% down. 96% down. And if we take a look, Virgin Galactic came down to a low of $1.38, 97% down. Currently at the current price is about 96% down. So my people, look, there was people that was buying shares of Virgin Galactic at $60 and are still holding. $50, $40, $30, $20 are still holding. Right now, Virgin Galactic is at $2. So Virgin Galactic is at $2 as it stands. And this looks like it could be the bottom, my people. This looks like an accumulation phase. And you can see in the chart that we saw previously to this, BlackRock have increased their holdings. They've increased their share amount as the price has gone down. So this is the weekly chart, my people. On the weekly chart, for me, this looks like we're in an accumulation phase, and this looks like it could be the spring. I'm seeing analysts giving it a rating of $1, saying that it's worth $1, but that remains to be seen. I mean, this is a long-term hold for me, and I'm gonna be DCAing into it. But the risk to reward is, I mean, how far down can we go if it was to fall down? I mean, to $1 from these prices is 50%. It's a 50% loss, but the upside from these prices, you're talking 2,784% to the upside just to get back to all-time highs. I mean, just to get back to all-time highs. So it depends. Do you believe this stock is going to do well? I believe the stock's going to do well. Virgin Galactic Holdings. You've got Virgin Atlantic. No, that's already chartering planes. I think Virgin Galactic in the future, I think they was talking of they want to make planes that can get you from A to B quicker than a normal plane could. So in my eyes, this is a great buy opportunity, a great buying opportunity, considering where the prices come from and where it's got to. So check the indicators on the weekly. If we check the MACD is curved round. It's pushing up to the upside. We want to see, can we push up on the weekly and break this zero line and push up on the weekly. On the RSI, this is another thing that I noticed as well. Look, on the RSI, you can see from December the 19th on the RSI, we've been having higher lows on the RSI. But if you look at the price, if we look at the price from 2019, we went up, and in 2021 we started coming down, but we've been having, the price has been having lower lows. It's all been lower lows, but on the RSI, it's been higher lows. So that's bullish. That's a bullish divergence in the weekly time frame. I'll take it to the 4 hour quickly, because this is what I was seeing in the 4 hour. This is what it looks like we was in. It looks like we had a head and shoulders pattern. Looks like we had a head and shoulders. And if this head and shoulders pattern plays out, if we break down, then that will bring us to about the 160, 158 mark, which could help us form this, the right shoulder, because we've got a left inverted shoulder here, so we want to form a right inverted shoulder here that can eventually propel us to the upside. So if this plays out, this head and shoulders, we could come down to $1.60, $1.58, but that would still be a higher low from this low here, and would help us form this inverted right shoulder that we would like to form to push us higher. That's what I'm seeing for SPCE. I don't want to take too long on the chart. Let's take a look, because I had the retracements. Let's get the retracement up to, where is it? 236. Yeah, let's move that across. About 236. Look, and you see it lines up as well, because we would have a retracement look to the 786. So that would be the place that I think we could come and bounce off. But either way, we've got a support at 187, 176, and then the 159. That's what I'm seeing for SPCE. So SPCE, Virgin Galactic Holdings, I'm seeing if it falls to $1, as analysts are saying, but I don't really listen to a lot of these analysts. But if it falls to $1, the risk is 50% to the downside. If we go back to all-time highs at some stage, the reward is 2,784%. So this is one that will keep an eye on, my people. Virgin Galactic Holdings. I believe this is the future, and what Virgin Galactic are doing is unique. There's only a handful that are doing it. So this is one I'm invested in, my people. If it falls to 160, 170, I'm going to be dollar cost averaging in. So that's my plan. But remember, my people, none of this is financial advice. It's never financial advice. So if you got anything out of this video, my people, hit the like button for me, hit the subscribe button, share the video. I'm Solo Scrooge with the Solo News. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
The commercial space race is going faster. Virgin Galactic successfully completed its first flight with paying customers Thursday. Danya Bacchus has more for us.
3, 2, 1, release, release, release.
This is the moment when Virgin Galactic's rocket-powered plane released from the mothership in the latest leap for humankind.
Ignition, good control.
Rather than a vertical launch, a twin fuselage jet lifted the Unity spaceplane from the New Mexico runway and carried it to an altitude over 45,000 feet before releasing it to fly on its own. A built-in motor then propelled the ship to an altitude higher than 50 miles from Earth.
Our mission specialists have been cleared to unstrap and enjoy the zero-G experience.
Along with the two pilots and an astronaut trainer were the paying customers, 3 Italian researchers who spoke after the flight.
We did all the experiments that we were supposed to run, and we also had the opportunity to look outside and really enjoy the beauty of the view outside.
Virgin Galactic has said it plans to charge $450,000 per seat for out-of-this-world tourism.
Up to 4 passengers can be anything from, space tourists to researchers, university endeavors, things like that. So really it's a matter of making money.
After the 72-minute total flight, the VSS Unity spaceplane came back to Earth.
And there's Will Stop.
Now joining Blue Origins and Spacex, Virgin plans to offer monthly flights and already has hundreds of ticket holders waiting for their moment in space.